Imagine standing in ancient Rome, the bustling streets filled with whispers of hope and controversy. Paul, imprisoned yet unshaken, writes a letter not just to a church, but to the heartbeat of Christianity itself. This isn't just theology, it's the foundation that shakes the soul. What does it mean to be right about faith, and why does it matter beyond just believing? Paul's letter to the Romans holds that secret, but it's not where you think it'll lead. First, let's step into Paul's world, where faith isn't a checkbox but a battlefield. How do you prove something unseen is actually rock solid? That's the tension driving Romans. Paul writes this letter from a Roman prison cell, knowing the stakes aren't just legal but eternal. His words don't defend himself, but lay out a case for faith to stand before any judge, human or divine, in the heart of the empire, the church in Rome. The drama: will they accept grace or cling to old law? Think of faith like a verdict in a trial. Paul isn't saying you pass by behaving perfectly. Instead, faith is the evidence that convinces the judge, God, that you're not guilty. Like DNA or fingerprints in a courtroom, faith points to something deeper, unseen but undeniably true. Here's the kicker: being right isn't about following a checklist of laws. It's about a transformation that spills into how you live every day, a life fueled by grace, not obligation. This subtle shift flips religion from heavy rulebooks to an empowered, vibrant journey. Next, Paul reveals the heart of his message: grace. But grace isn't just a free pass, it's a revolution. Why is it so radical? Because it rewrites the human story from guilt to glory. Paul contrasts two figures: Adam, who brought sin and guilt into the world, and Christ, who brings life and freedom. Imagine a coin flipped to fate. Adam's legacy spells doom, but Christ's sacrifice flips everything and buys back what was lost. The cosmic stakes couldn't be higher. Picture grace as fuel in a car. It's not about how clean your engine is or how well you drive. Grace powers your journey forward no matter your flaws. Without it, you stall in guilt and shame. With it, you accelerate into freedom, powered by a gift you never earned but desperately need. Before grace, humanity is trapped like slaves, tied to fear and failure. Paul says grace breaks those chains, adopting us into a family where we're not outsiders but beloved heirs. This means your identity changes overnight, from condemned to cherished. Finally, Paul's letter isn't just deep theology, it's a blueprint for daily life. How do these monumental ideas shape your every action? This is where faith hits the street. Paul insists that love isn't optional, it's the proof your faith is real. Picture a dark alley lit by one street lamp. That lamp's your love, shining in the darkness around you. If your faith doesn't light up your relationships, maybe it's just an empty promise. Obedience here isn't about grim duty, but a heartfelt response to joy. Paul compares it to a child who dances to a song because they love the music, not because they're forced. Joy powers obedience, making it spontaneous, contagious, and real. Last, Paul speaks to the church as a community, not just isolated believers. He warns that holiness grows in the soil of shared lives, where people carry each other's burdens. Christianity isn't a lone wolf story, it's a pack moving together toward hope. Remember Paul's Roman prison cell? That's where this all began. A letter that challenges you to live right in faith, not just be right in theory. Don't let faith be static. Try this week. Identify one situation where you can let love be your verdict. Watch grace transform that moment and see what happens when obedience flows from joy. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.